Robert Whittaker beat the piss out of Ikram Aliskerov in like a minute 45. What a beatdown. I mean, great performance from Robert Whittaker. And before I go too hard into shitting on Dagestanis, which I'm just going to give you guys a heads up, while a lot of this video is just me having fun and trolling a little bit, I am going to be shitting on him a little bit. So if you don't like that, just you might as well tune out now or dislike the video now, whatever you can do. But Robert Whittaker makes MMA fans around the world happy. If an unranked guy goes up and beats Robert Whittaker, it's a nightmare, right? It is an absolute nightmare. There's no world in which someone should be doing that. Now, the people that picked Ikram Aliskerov, casuals, if you've watched any of his regional fights, you know he's not as highly touted as everyone thought he was. If you watch his fights in the UFC, yeah, he's got some impressive first-round finishes against Phil Hawes, who has been chinned by everybody, and against Warley Alves, who was contending at welterweight, but in his older age, and when I say older age, I mean like 34 and up, is just a fat middleweight that doesn't want to make welterweight anymore. Those are his two wins. So he gets booked to fight Antonio Tricoli last week. Hamzat bails because he got food poisoning, which is literally just shitting on the toilet, shitting soup for 12 hours and throwing up. But I get it. The big warrior that Hamzat is can't step in and take that fight. So Aliskerov steps up and takes it. Mad respect to Aliskerov. Mad respect. He knew he had an extremely tough fight in front of him. He wanted the challenge. He took the challenge. He kind of just got battered. It is what it is. I'm not like, no disrespect to Aliskerov, honestly. Like, my shit talk is not going to be towards Ikram Aliskerov today. It's going to be more towards Dagestani privilege in general and just them being overhyped and fed tomato cans. But, I mean, dude, Ikram Aliskerov just was not on the level of Robert Whittaker, and that's okay because guess what? There's maybe two people in the world at middleweight right now that are on the level of Robert Whittaker. Maybe three. And they're all in the top five. Ikram's unranked. Hamzat, if he walked into that octagon last night, Hamzat was going to get his ass beat. His ass beat. Robert was in there ready to stuff any takedown. And dude, he's a 15,000 times better striker. And we talk about how chinny he is sometimes. Dude, Robert Whittaker has been chinned by Israel Adesanya on one of the best counter punches that Israel has ever landed in his life. It was just a good shot. Happens. And he got chinned by Dricus Du Plessis, who fucking hurts everybody really bad. Dude, when Whittaker walks in there locked in, dialed in, angry, ready to batter people, just is intense, you know what Whittaker you're going to get, and it is the best fighter at 185. He's a monster. Robert Whittaker is an absolute monster. Beats up Ikram Aliskerov. The fight starts. He chews Ikram Aliskerov's legs, and Aliskerov's legs are already hurt with two kicks. That's it. Two kicks, and Ikram's like, oh, fuck, what am I in for? Lands his jab, goes underneath and lands the jab. And instead of doing the Whittaker where he like kind of taps his hands and he wants to like skate around and not get hurt and decision you, this was the Whittaker that was in there to hurt. And we saw it with the first 1-1-2 he threw. He threw it with bad intentions. Robert Whittaker has had a history of not throwing things with crazy bad intentions sometimes. He's doing it to score points. And then he'll occasionally pick it up. Dude, he was in there, and the first 1-1-2 he threw was with bad intentions. Put Ikram Aliskerov on chicken legs. Ikram was doing the chicken dance, and Whittaker immediately stalks him down, 1-2, head kick, slips, kind of hits the head kick, and then Ikram's still hurt. Robert feints the uppercut, so Ikram's hands go down, then he immediately throws the jab up top to pepper his face, so Ikram's hands come back up, and then Robert Whittaker goes right under again, clean uppercut, sits him down, 1-2, it's over, minute 45, Robert Whittaker wins the fight with a first-round knockout over Ikram Aliskerov, who was getting told is the next big thing at middleweight. This is a guy that was getting hyped because he got knocked out by Hamzat. We were hyping him because of a loss against a dude that was going to lose to Usman if that fight lasted another round. Interesting. So where are all the casuals that were saying Ikram's got his number, dude, Rob doesn't stand a chance, he's chinny, Ikram's really, really good? Is he, though? Is Ikram really that good? Sure, he deserves to be in the UFC. But is he top 15? Is he definitely not top 10, not top 5 right now? For sure not. Beating Robert Whittaker? You guys thought this guy was going to go in there and beat one of the best middleweights of all time? The same dude that fought 10 rounds with Yoel Romero? You thought? The same guy that's been in multiple title fights? You thought? The same guy that beat Israel Adesanya in a decision, which he got robbed from? The same guy that gave Jared Cannonier the worst beating he's ever taken. Marvin Vettori, the worst beating he's ever taken. Paulo Costa, one of the worst beatings he's ever taken. Other than Izzy's knockout. This dude is the real deal. Like the realest of real. And Ikram Aliskerov wasn't just going to walk in there and take advantage of him. Nah. Just because you have a beard that looks like mine, minus the mustache. Just because your last name ends in a V, and you come from the mountains of Dagestan, does not mean that you're automatically an elite fighter. This goes for more than just Ikram Aliskerov on the card. Bernard Fakhretdinov's not that crazy. He's almost been fraud checked by 2 guys outside of the rankings. Nicholas Dalby and Zaleski Dos Santos, who both guys are tough outs. But if you want to contend for a title one day, you need to beat those 2 guys and you need to finish them. Probably. You need to beat them. He beat Dalby barely. He drew Zaleski Dos Santos. He shoots for legs, and if he doesn't get the legs, then he's just going to get beat up on the feet. That's what it is. He's got power in the first round, and he just kind of wings untechnical punches. Non-technical, whatever. Ikram, dude, I don't know what's next for him. I'm going to matchmake him, so you'll see, but you fast-tracked him too quick. You gave him Robert Whittaker. And I get it. Ikram's a beast for stepping up to that. They might have just ran out of options and no one was going to take a Robert Whittaker fight on short notice. It's crazy. But dude, just because you're from Dagestan doesn't mean that you're Khabib or Islam. Khabib and Islam Makhachev are the only 2 guys that you can look at and say, yes, these are the real dudes, the boogeymen, the ones that no one's going to touch. I don't think anyone at lightweight's going to beat Islam Makhachev. Khabib didn't stick around long enough to see if anyone at lightweight would have beat him, but I don't know, man. I don't know that Charles was going to do it. And if he beat Charles, then he would have been probably one of the GOATs. He is one of the GOATs. He could have been. If he beat Charles, I would have been like, damn, then there actually is no one that I think can beat him other than Islam. Islam, I don't know that there's anyone in the division that can beat him right now. It's not Gamrot. It's not Gaethje. It's not Max. God, that'd be an awesome fight, though. Ilya honestly stands the best chance, and he's at 45. Because we know how skilled these 45 fighters are. Volk gave him the toughest fight. I did think Volk beat him in the first one, I will say. But it's the toughest fight Islam will ever have. Dude, Robert Whittaker looked unbelievable. Unbelievable performance over Ikram Aliskerov. Ikram got rocketed up way too quick. Kudos for taking the fight, but you were never going to win this one, man. You were never going to win this fight against Robert Whittaker. He was a different beast in there. Now we talk about what's next for Robert Whittaker. Sorry, my phone is going nuts because I posted on social. Go check out Sandbox MMA social media too. But Ikram Aliskerov, I don't think you give him another ranked fighter. I think you got to build his confidence back up, build some hype back up, because his hype might have just got completely derailed. And it shouldn't be because he went against Robert Whittaker. Dude, it might have gotten completely derailed. But as I said, with Robert Whittaker, what's next for him? He would have beaten Hamzat in there. Guarantee it. I was taking him before that fight happened. I told everyone, round 4 knockout. Hamzat's not going to make it through the round 3 or 4 knockout. I thought Hamzat was going to get gassed out, not get the finish in round 1, and Whittaker was just going to beat his ass. Kind of like Usman was starting to do, but Whittaker's a better striker. Much better than Usman. He's more powerful. Then we look at, Whittaker can fight who next, right? Like, I'm going to say I think it should be Sean Strickland. And I get it. Strickland deserves a title fight. Whittaker now also deserves a title fight. Izzy versus Duplessis is booked, and Izzy doesn't deserve one, but the UFC gives him privilege because he must have jerked Dana's dog off in the right way. But I just see what the UFC likes to do is go, oh, Whittaker, you want to fight Sean? He's like, fuck yeah, I want to fight Sean. In Perth, let's do it. And Sean's like, nah, I'm holding out for a title fight. And then UFC will be like, I don't know, man. Robert Whittaker's the one doing us favors, willing to fight. Maybe we just give him the title fight next. That's just what they do. And I honestly think Sean wants a fight. Sure, does he want to set out for a title? Yes, but I think he knows a Whittaker fight can be fun. A Whittaker fight can sell. And if he beats Whittaker, he is the most undeniable challenger of all time. If he beats Whittaker, he starts putting himself in a top middleweights conversation. It's fun, man. The middleweight division's fun. I think it should be Rob versus Strickland. I think that's what's going to happen, and you do it at the co-main of Perth. The winner gets to fight for the title. Strickland wants to wait out. That's fine. I'm just scared he's going to miss his opportunity. I am a little scared. But fucking A, dude. Robert Whittaker's that dude. He is that dude. He's back, dude. He's on a tear right now, and he's fighting to finish people. He is fighting to become champ again. And again, I get he doesn't fully care about the belt, but he's fighting to make sure that he rights all of his wrongs. If they fight Duplessis again, I'm going to take Whittaker. I'm going to take Izzy if he fights Izzy again. I'm probably taking Whittaker if he fights Strickland too. He's a really hard matchup for Strickland because he doesn't just move backwards the whole time. He doesn't let you walk him down, and he hits really hard where he could catch Strickland bad. Whittaker's defense is great too. So I'm super interested to see what happens next. Aliskerov was just not on the level of Whittaker. He was never going to be. But these Daggies, man, just because their last name ends in a V does not mean that they're automatic title contenders. Same thing with Sharon Magomedov. Sharon Magomedov is so fucking overrated. Ikram Aliskerov was so overrated. People were taking him to beat Whittaker. People were saying that he might get Hamzat in the rematch. These are people that just wanted to pretend that they know the sport. They wanted to pretend that they were hardcores. They got casual checked. What about Ikram Aliskerov's past made you think he was going to beat Robert Whittaker? Other than saying that he was from Dagestan. What about his past said he was going to win? Because he got knocked out by Hamzat? Is that what made you think he was going to win? But he KO'd Warlley Alves in the first round. You're an idiot. Warlley Alves is a fat old man. He KO'd Phil Hawes. Buddy, the wind that was going by KO'd Phil Hawes. He didn't look good in the regional scene. Like, he won. But he wasn't looking good. This was always going to happen. What a performance from Robert Whittaker. You're an absolute monster. Thank you for bringing peace and happiness back to MMA fans. Corey Sandhagen is going to beat the fuck out of Umar Nurmagomedov on August 3rd, I think it is. Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. Yes, Umar is Khabib's cousin, but he's not Khabib. He's, again, much like Ikram Aliskerov, untested against ranked contenders. Has knocked out old men like Ronnie Barcelos. That's what Ikram did to Warlley Alves. He's beaten guys that come up on short notice that aren't that good. They're not ranked contenders. Beksat Almakhan was his win before this, who knocked him down. Corey Sandhagen's going to win. Robert Whittaker is that man. He's the fucking guy. He's that dude. Let's see what happens next, because Robert Whittaker just brought peace back to the MMA world. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching.